let's talk quickly about, we'll play a little badminton here. I'll hit the badminton, the little thing, the birdie over the net. You hit it back
Yeah.
to me. How do we know we're at a bad event, Marshall? You had mentioned seeing the computer desktop on the screen, which is a no-no. I had mentioned cardboard visible because everybody's taking pictures of the speaker and you can see all this shit in the background. I'm like, bloody hell, people, don't you have any self-respect?
That's right.
Another thing for you that just makes the fur on the back of your neck go up.
I think it's important to do some rehearsals leading into some of these events, if you can. I mean, make sure that the speaker knows to have good lighting and have the camera set correctly, and knows how, when it's their turn, to have that share screen ready to go. So again, it's the analogous to the desktop on the big screen. Make sure you got the right monitor picked. So once they flip it over to you to share the screen, boom, it's on there. Too often I see people trying to figure out, well, is this screen or this screen?
Yeah.
Be ready for that, because a lot of that is just, we as we prepare for these virtual events, we tell folks other things to make sure you turn off any syncing applications like Dropbox or anything that's going to make noise. It's those little details that can really cause a distraction or reduce the video quality or the audio quality that can, again, just wreck an event. So it's paying attention to all those little details that you may not even think about, but we make checklists of these, make sure you do this and do this. And I just pay attention to the details.
I teach presentation skills, and I always tell everybody, I'm going to teach you how to do the perfect presentation, and they're like, oh, great, because my last presentation was far from perfect. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, it's a really helpful tool when you're trying to be perfect, is a checklist. Because if you do everything, if the checklist is good and you do everything that's on the checklist, you have a perfect presentation.
That's right.
And so often we're winging it. I can't tell you how many people, Marshall, want to do a TED Talk, and they don't realize how much, to use your word, practice goes into a good TED Talk. Not only did the speaker practice beforehand, they actually do sessions where they practice playing to the various cameras in the room, because it's usually a multi-camera shoot.
Right.
So how about practicing with the teleprompter so it doesn't look like you're reading this thing, And how about practicing eye contact with the audience? And who's coaching the speakers on this stuff, if anybody?
That's right. And, that's funny that you mentioned TED Talk, because as we were preparing for this most recent event, the Zone Summit, we talked about watching TED Talks and pay attention to how people give a TED Talk, and how even when people are in person, but even when you watch the YouTube recordings of the TED Talks after the fact, people come through the screen. And so, you got to bring that energy, because sometimes a two-dimensional medium like video, it's hard to come through the screen. And we tell people, you got to amp up that energy so that you can really drive home what you're talking about, instead of just kind of sitting there and talking about, we're doing this and this is a great project. So it's the practice, and it's really, bringing the energy to deliver.
When you talk about coming through the screen, are you referring to some graphic people call it making it pop? You're talking about this vibrant, human type of presence on camera, right?
That's it. Yeah. I want people to feel like, obviously they're not in the same room, but I want them to feel like, I'm there with Marshall right now, because he is passionate about what he's talking about, and just coming right through that camera instead of just monotone delivery. And it's so important, especially with a medium like video, because we don't have those other, that proximity to the person. And so it's important that we bring the energy through the screen.
Right. I tell speakers to appear lifelike whenever possible.